Hey guys, welcome back to the AJP Tour podcast. I'm your host, Will Safford. Thank you for joining us. Today on the show, we have Guttemberg Pereira. Gutemberg is a top-level competitor fighting for the GF team. He is a former King of Mats competitor, as well as an AJP Tour Grand Slam champion. So I have a great conversation with Guttemberg all about training, what he's doing down in Brazil to get ready for the upcoming Grand Slam in Rio. Speaking of which, we have reached capacity for the Rio Grand Slam. However, we're excited to say that it will be live, broadcast live for free on our YouTube channel December 5th and 6th. So make sure you guys check out our YouTube channel, AJP Tour, and you can also get more information on our website, ajptour.com. So without further ado, let's get into the latest episode with Guttemberg Pereira. All right, welcome back. Today we are with Guttemberg Pereira. Guttemberg, how are you, man?
Pretty good, brother. Pretty good.
So it's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen you on the mats. Even I haven't seen you much like on the competition scene. What have you been up to? What's been going on?
So man, just getting ready, training a lot. Especially like with this all the situation we have been. It's been hard to compete anyways. But I was planning to go to World Pro. I was planning to that.
Okay.
But yeah, unfortunately it didn't happen. But that was my main goal for this year. And I was training a lot. And so once the Grand Slam, they posted that Grand Slam is gonna happen, I kind of like put all my focus on the Grand Slam, so probably you guys are going to see me competing on that.
Awesome, man. You're just ready to unleash on everybody.
I hope so.
So it's been a while since you competed. Now, you were training and living in the United States for a couple of years, I think 2018 maybe, and you moved back to Brazil and you're training down there. Is that right?
Yeah, I was in the United States for almost 5 years. And then this year, in the beginning of this year, I came back to Brazil. And then I'm here since that. And yeah, it was a good phase of my life. Learned a lot. Learned how to speak English.
Yeah.
It was amazing, man. It was a very good experience, something that I'm for sure gonna take for the rest of my life, the experience to live there, But sometimes, things just go in different ways.
Of course.
And I just, came my way, came back home, and I'm pretty happy to be here. I'm pretty happy to be back home. I'm close to my family too. My grandparents is, getting old. I'm very close to them, and I was like the distance between Rio and Salvador is way less than United States and Salvador.
Yeah,
good to be back. It's like 2 hours away, so yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Definitely. So you're now in Rio, training at the GF Team HQ. Are you also? I also see you putting out a lot of videos on Instagram and stuff. Are you teaching as well?
So yeah, the technical part. Julio asked me if I could take over. And I was like, yeah, of course, like, it's a pleasure for me, I kind of like have this style of teaching, and it's something that I really like to do. And people say that I have like, a good way to speak, like teaching, and I just like, all right, so let me take it over.
Man,
yeah.
I tell you what, like I don't even speak Portuguese, but I watch your videos and I completely understand what you're teaching.
Your videos are awesome. Tell me this, man. That's crazy.
Dude, your videos are awesome, man. You don't rush through things. It's like you have this way of teaching that you don't even really need to know the language to understand, which is really cool.
It's important. It's important for me. The accomplishment.
Yeah, that's great, man. I remember the last time I saw you competing for AJP Tour was at the King of Mats in Los Angeles. Yeah. It was the heavyweight King of Mats. And you were doing really, really well. And then I think you hurt your back, right?
I hurt my hip.
Your rib.
My hip.
Oh, okay, your hip.
My hips, yeah.
So what happened there? Are you all healed up with that?
Man, was a crazy. Do you know what happened? I heard that on going to Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, that was crazy because I took a very long flight. I was like in a bunch of connections, and when I landed in Japan, I went straight up to train. I was kind of like panic. I was like, man, I have to train. I was so long in the airport, so long in the airplane. I have to train. So I went to train, and then I was with this kid, Haysom, I think, from Caribbean.
Yes, Haysom, yep.
Yeah, Haysom, exactly. And I kind of like was like an X guard with him, and I went to kick him, and I felt pretty bad, almost like my groin. And I was like, dude, that's horrible. And I was like feeling the pain. Cool. I was all right. So it was like 3 days before the tournament. So I was kind of like, all right, man. And the bracket was kind of like, it was not big, but it had 2 big names in the bracket. And I was like, Jesus Christ, man. I'm with this groin in Japan. They have these 2 guys, like, you know, and they're like, plus 120 kilos. And I was like, you know, Jesus Christ, man, it's going to be bad. But thank God, their visa don't got approved. They didn't get to the tournament. So I kind of got a 1 fight only, and I was like, cool. So I won. I won in Japan, the Grand Slam, and then they invited me to go to King of the Mat. So then when I got there, in my first fight against Adam
Morzinski, yep.
Yeah, I kind of was like on the X guard. He was an X guard. I was pinching my knees, trying to defend, and he kind of scratched my leg pretty bad. So kind of like tried to sweep me. Yeah. And then I felt again, and I was like, ugh. And then he went to the footlock. I got like he swept me, and then I started like feeling the pain, you know, and I was like, feeling the pain. And this pain went up all the way like to my groin to my low back. That was, and then I was feeling all this part here from my hip. So then after that, I went to check, and then was my hip. It was just, you know, the doctor said it was a bad formation on my hip.
Gotcha.
And with this hard movement, it kind of like went out of place. And I got fixed it, and that was pretty good.
Oh, good, man.
So, that was good.
Man, flying, like sometimes like the life of an athlete, you're constantly up and down, you know, it's really like you have to be young, and, you know, to do this type of lifestyle, because you're like, you're flying 10 hours across the world somewhere. And then the next day you're trying to compete or train. Like I couldn't do that. I got to warm up, you know, especially tall guys like us who are sitting on flights, like we're all cramped.
Yeah, I was about to say this. I'm like in English, I'm 6'4", man.
6'4", so, yeah, big guy. Well, that's what I was going to say. That time we went to Japan, that was an awesome trip over in Tokyo.
Oh, it was amazing, man. It was amazing. I think, honestly, I was about to give this a compliment to AJP, because I think that Grand Slam is the best Grand Slam that they could do. Like, I love Japan. That was one of the best trips of my life.
Same here. Yeah. That was a really cool trip. We got to hang out a little bit. We went around Tokyo, and I thought it was really funny because everyone thought you were like LeBron James or
oh, he's super tall.
Yeah. Everyone thought you were some kind of like big famous American basketball player, athlete or something. But no, that was a special trip. You ended up winning that one. I think you had there was only 1 or 2 guys in your bracket, right?
Yeah, two guys.
But you got the samurai sword. You got to take home the samurai sword, which is awesome.
In the United States, I have to go there. I have to go back to grab my sword.
Oh, really? Oh, you left it in the U.S.?
Yeah, I left everything there, man. Everything there.
Oh, really?
Because like when I came back to Brazil, I went to Europe first. And then I was like in a tour for seminars. And then I was 40 days in Europe. And then from Europe, I came to Brazil. So since that, COVID started, and then I couldn't come anymore. I was about to go I was about to go in March, but I couldn't because of COVID. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you've been in Brazil training, kind of doing your thing a little bit underground, but I'm not sure what the gyms are like in Brazil right now. In the U.S., some places can train, some places can't. But so you've been training. Anything you've been working on while you've been kind of in the shadows a little bit?
So man, it's like, but like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I didn't understand. Like,
well, no, it's like when a lot of athletes that I've been talking to said that when they went into like their private training for this kind of like lockdown for quarantine, they said they made like a lot of discoveries. You know, a lot of guys like improved their passing and like anything that you've been working on at all.
Oh man, it's just like, you know, like it's always like I'm always studying. Like,
yeah,
this is a funny thing about me, like that most people don't know me, but just my personal friends. I used to it. I just go to bed like 4 in the morning watching fights.
Really?
Yeah, watching fights. This was like I just stopped when I like was brown belt. About brown belt, like purple belt, brown belt. I stopped doing that because I really started feeling my body don't get rest the other day training. So I started slowing down like my studies, but I always like to study, like I study everything. And the funny part that I like to study the lightweight, you know, the lightweight guys. And
well, I was going to say this because you're a big guy who likes to invert.
Yeah, I just watch lightweight. Yeah, I don't even like to watch the heavyweight. It's kind of, you know, it's like, I'm not going to say this, but I think it's more interesting the lightweight. Middleweight's good. Lightweight's good. Some guys in the medium heavy are light. You know, that's kind of like my preference.
I agree. I think the light, middleweight, those guys are this crazy combination of like speed, technique, strength, and it's just.
Even a feather. I watch featherweight too.
But you kind of move like a featherweight for a guy who's 6'4", man. What? You're 95 kilos, I guess.
I'm trying to make 90. This is my fight. Yeah, this is my fight. Like I have a note here on my on my desk here. It's like this. Give
everything you have, make the weight.
Make weight and then go win. Yeah, because I have to cut 6 kilos, like to fight in a Grand Slam, and you know, it's my first fight. It's gonna be my first fight because I hurt my ribs training in a very, very stupid move. I was training super light, and then my friend's knee kind of like hit me from the bottom.
Yeah.
Up, and then my ribs like popped, and I hurt this knee before, and kind of popped and went back, but my muscle was very, very, very like sore.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like trying to heal and training at the same time, trying to heal and train at the same time. And it was supposed to happen the king of the mat. So
right.
The king of the mat was a heavyweight, so it was not weight, like was, you know, 94 up. So I was like, cool. I was like, all right, well, it's cool. I'm gonna heal until that, and I'm fine. So then the got canceled, and then when the Grand Slam, I was like, all right, so let me register the Grand Slam. So 94 was the only option. I'm not going to fight that kid's 130 kilos, no way.
Make the weight and win, right? That's what you
weight and win. Exactly.
That's it. Hey, speaking about getting injured, you made a post the other day or recently on Instagram about training and getting hurt. And it was like a loose translation. I couldn't really understand all of it, but it was about like training with each other, training with your partners, and making sure that you both benefit. You know, making sure that you and all of your training partners are evolving together, and that you can go hard, but the goal is to improve yourself and not really get hurt. Is that, do I kind of have that right?
Yeah, that was the reason. So the reason that I made that post was because, you know, in the gym has some kids that very like stubborn, like you go crazy and they elbow you, they they want to prove something to somebody that I don't know who is this person that they want to prove, or they want to prove themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know. But when you go to like big academies, like GFT headquarters, like ADGS, like any other
alliance,
any other that has a bunch of competitors, that's the pain of their body every day to work, to put food on the table. You can't go like this. It's very different. It's very different. I was watching Patrick and Muhammad Ali rolling this last day, a video, and I was like, man, the guys are going hard, like 100%, but they're conscious in what they're doing. Like, they're not going crazy and I want to hurt you. I want to, the professionals go hard and they know how to go hard. So what I was telling is, if a kid came to roll with me, and this happened with me actually, a kid came with me to roll with me, and it was like I went to sweep him. He was almost swept, and he tried to like elbow me like crazy. So then I got kind of mad. I was like, oh, you want to go like this? All right. He was like 70 kilos, and I'm 103 kilos. And I was like, all right, let's go like this. And then I started going hard.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, this is this. And then I came to him and I told him, like, bro, if you want to go like this with me, the only possibility is you to be hurt, man. Like, I'm never go train with you like this. Like, for me, it's much better we go hard, but we both benefit from the training. Then I just we just go like this, and I can get hurt, you can get hurt. Right. So that's why I made that post. I was like saying this, much better we go hard, but in a way that we benefit. Like both.
Yeah. Benefit. It's an interesting concept, and it's probably tough to do when, especially around competition time, when everyone wants to train hard and everyone wants that gold medal, But it really takes kind of like, you have to check yourself and say, look, I'm part of a team here. And I remember I sat in on a class right before a competition that the GF team, it was the GF team all together in their Southern California location. And Master Julio Cesar had you stand up and make a speech to everybody. And
yeah, he does do that.
He likes to do that, right?
Yeah, he does. He likes to
but I think what the point was is that, like, he looks to you as a leader, and for you pulling that younger 70 kilo guy aside and being like, hey, look, the goal here is to grow together, right? Mm-hmm. We're not trying to hurt each other. We're teammates. The place to mess up is you can accept that sweep in the training room. Maybe don't accept it on competition day, but like, you have to accept that. So it also takes a leader to say, guys, look, we have to keep the focus on getting better and not just killing each other, right?
100%. It's like it's an everyday thing. Like here, I think Julio, I think the way that Julio sees me is like, I'm with him since I was a blue belt, so he really knows me. Like, he really knows the way I think, and this is the beauty between me and him. Like, as a coach, as my coach, because he knows the way I think, and he knows the way that I act.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so he always kind of like, and kind of like, it's the same mentality that I have with him. So he kind of like, the most of the times, like, all right, and I'm not shy to speak. So it's kind of like, all right, Guru, it's your turn. Go ahead. But this case is an everyday thing. It's a process. Like, because this is deals a lot with insecurity too. Like,
right.
People insecurity, they want to prove themselves. I'm not there to prove myself. I'm in my gym, bro. I'm in the gym that I'm every day, like almost 4 or 5 hours a day. For who I want to prove this, like. So it's an ego thing that has to be worked, like little by little. I was talking this morning to the class about the ego. Like, man, we have this thing that we always say, but nobody follows. Like, put the ego aside. But this is a personal thing. As much as you put your ego aside, more evolution you're gonna have in the process of like getting better like technically, mentally, because like you can see things in different prospects. When you put the ego aside, you look like you go outside from this and you start expanding your vision. You know,
Yeah,
but it's a slow process.
that's great advice, man. You know, the ego is can be important in certain scenarios, right? You have to be confident enough, but you also need to keep the goal on evolving and getting better. I know that's one thing that you do. You spend a lot of time studying not only jiu-jitsu, but also like mindset type stuff.
Yeah, I have a bunch of books, man. Like I don't post that much about it because like it's my thing, you know. I just like to read for myself. Once in a while, I post something that I like, but I read a lot. I watch a lot of documentaries too, and I'm big in biography, you know. So
Ooh.
yeah, I'm a I'm a big fan of biographies. So I kind of study a lot about this, and I try to understand the mind of big athletes. That's the main thing for me. You know, big athletes and big coaches. That's what I kind of look for. Hours.
Anything you're reading right now, or anything that you that comes to mind that you really liked?
I'm reading this. I read this book. I kind of I gave it to my friends to read. It was like from a lady because I read it in Portuguese, but let me try to find real quick. But it's a great book, man, and they talk about vulnerability.
Vulnerability, yep.
Yeah, I read it in Portuguese, so I don't know how's the title
Okay.
in English, but let me find real quick. It's a great book.
Yeah, I think that's important. I noticed that with a lot of the elite level guys, they not only are training, you know, jiu-jitsu a couple hours a day, they're also training strength and conditioning a couple hours a day, and then they're also doing like mental stuff. They're reading books. They're, you know, doing visualization.
That's what changed, you know, like because technique is there. Like days now, techniques is there for everybody, man. Like you can see Atos online, Mendes brothers has their own, like Marcelo Garcia has their own, like he's there. Like BJJ Kinetic is there. Like technique is for everybody, but here just for field, you know. And I'm an expert on that. I'm working on it because I want to get better on it, you know. But you can see guys that won many titles. You can see the way they talk, you know. Like if you talk to Lucas Lepri, you can see the way he talks different, you know. If you like talk to Romulo, you see his mental game is different, man. Like it's all their game. JT Torres, different mindset. Like I think this is the differential between these guys, you know, between us.
Definitely.
Man, I didn't find it.
That's no problem. But I think it's just,
you know, a book that I read, it was, I think, changed my perspective of seeing things. Relentless. Chingru, the mentor from the Michael Jordan's mentor, Kobe's and Michael's mentor.
Ah, yes.
Crazy book. Like, but if you're like thin skin, it's not a good book for you if you have a thin skin, you know? You're gonna say things that might get you pissed off, you're gonna close the book. So it's a hard book. It's a nice book to read, you know? So
that's great, man. I think you just intrigued everybody to go out
and get that book. For book.
There you have it, everyone. Go out, get that book. But hey, getting back to competition. So looking forward, we've got the Grand Slam coming up down there in Rio. We're making it happen December 5th and 6th. You are signed up. Am I correct? Is it the 94 kilo division? 94 kilos. So there's two things I wanted to ask you. First thing is, you're a big guy who likes to invert. You don't mind playing the berimbolo. You don't mind going underneath. What do you think about the new rule about grabbing inside the pants?
Yeah, that was a hard one. I have been complaining to Julio every day. Like you can't do this to your own students. Like, why you did this? Like, but it's, we're adapting. We're adapting. Honestly, for me, it's even worse from the top than from the bottom. Because from the bottom, there's many ways to play guard. So I'm kind of like, all right, there's all the ways to play. But on top, for me, my ways to pass is I go to the pants always, like to that part of the pants, because I can control the hip good. And kind of like took out a good control. So I'm kind of trying to be used to the pants. Gotcha. But the material of the gi is so thin that hurts the hand,
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna adapt onto the tournament.
That's interesting you say that about the material so thin that it kind of hurts the hand, because that's the whole reason why they made that rule. Because they're saying like you can't grab inside the pants like this, right? Like, so why should you be able to grab inside like the sleeve and the bottom of the pants, like cuff. You couldn't do that, right? So like, why could you do that by the hip? So that's kind of the idea. So that'll be interesting. The biggest thing with that, what I'm noticing, is that it's causing the penalty point, which can be the deciding factor. It's a point. It's not an advantage. It's a full point,
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with that one. I saw that at the Miami Grand Slam. A lot of guys were getting called on that, and it ended up, being the deciding factor. But so
I think the rules that they made is making the fights. I watched the tournament. I watched most of the tournaments that was like streamed. And honestly, I think the rules made the fights better. Make people fight more. In 5 minutes with that rule, man, the fights is more exciting,
Yeah.
And the penalty kind of changed. I think went down a little bit. I think it was 10 seconds only.
Yep.
I think, right?
Yep.
And then just get more excitement for the fight. I like the rule. I'm excited to fight on that rule set.
Yeah, I think it's super exciting. Plus, it's 5-minute matches, so they go super fast. You gotta work quick. Your division.
You have to go.
Your division, I think, has maybe 4 or 5 guys in it right now. Two tough Atos guys. So it's Helton Jr., right? And then Gustavo Batista signed up.
Yeah, he went up. A friend told me this morning. He was an 85, and then he went up to 94. That's good, man. He's amazing. I like to watch him fight a lot.
Have you ever faced either of those guys?
No, never. No, Elton, I did once. No, 3 times. 3 times, but Gustavo never did. Never did. It's pretty. I'm pretty excited because he's I think he's one of the best passers in the game right now. So it's pretty good to.
Well, you know what? I've trained with both of you, and you've both destroyed me. So I can't give you any advice, man.
But let me tell you something. I don't know if you know this, but from the website is only 5, but has a website here that people register in another website. It's called So Competitor.
Like
I'm a competitor. This is the website. It's like almost 18 guys. So the bracket, the whole list is, I think, 22 people.
In the 94 kilo division.
Yeah.
Whoa. So that's the thing. Sometimes there are late registrations that come in. The registration is closed right now because it filled up. It went to capacity. We have to have like a limited capacity due to the restrictions going on right now.
Yeah.
But sometimes guys do get in a little bit late, especially if they signed up but they haven't paid yet. Sometimes if they pay a little bit later, they can get in. So, but I'm sure, you're ready for anybody. You're going to go out there and just kind of do your thing. It would be interesting if it only was a 4-person bracket, you guys would all face each other. in like
Really?
in a round robin type thing.
That was good.
That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, that would be amazing. I would love to do that.
I think it's cool. I think AJP does some interesting stuff, man. It's like, all right, well, if there's only a couple of people in the bracket, let's make everybody face everybody. And this way you kind of have like a better, you know, it's not just like, all right, let's say, what if one guy got a bye? There's 3 guys. One guy gets a bye. The other guys fight, okay? And then one person advances to the final. The guy who got the bye is like, it's not really fair, right? So
plus it's good for the public too to see more fights, more people fight each other. But believe me, it's a lot of people in the bracket.
Okay.
People are registering on all the websites, literally.
And that's in the 94 kilo division. That means that some of the smaller divisions are probably massive.
Massive, yeah.
All right.
There's a lot of people too. Like it's crazy, man. It's gonna be a good tournament. It's gonna be.
Because
honestly, like it's because like everybody's excited to compete.
Yeah.
Nobody's competing, so 5 minutes, people are going crazy.
And right now, there's no travel restrictions into Brazil. So people from the United States can get, or even other countries just in South America can get into Brazil and get back. So that's great. You know, whereas when the Miami Grand Slam a couple of months ago, Brazil, a lot of the Brazilian competitors couldn't get into the United States because of the travel restrictions. So I'm super excited. Hopefully I can make it down there because it's going to be, man, this is like the Rio Grands.
We're about to get summer here, man. So
it's summer there as well.
It's about to get hot already. Like hot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like today was like 40 degrees, like for us, like Celsius. It's crazy.
Man, I can do kilos. Like kilos, I know it's like multiplied by 2.2. So
but not Fahrenheit. It's about 98. 90,
whoa.
Yeah, 98 Fahrenheit.
Wow, so it's pretty hot there. That would be really nice because today it was about I'm in New York and it was like it was zero. It was zero. Yeah, the other day.
I live in that part, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you lived in Ohio. You know what it's like.
Ohio, yeah, I live in Ohio, like 8 hours drive from New York, but it's all cold. Like cold. It's all hard.
So yeah, man. I'm excited. I can't wait to go back. Some of those divisions, I think the middleweight division. No. 85 kilos is stacked too, and the featherweight division as well. There's so many guys coming out. I think a lot of the reason is because some of these competitors haven't been able to get to the United States, kind of like yourself, right? You've kind of been a little bit stuck.
Same thing. Yeah.
And I mean, have there been really many other competitions going on in Brazil?
So it's some local tournaments. I competed in a local tournament actually, just to get in the room, just to have this feeling again. I had so long. I had a super fight too. So it's 2 tournaments before, like, that I competed. So, but big tournament, we not having.
Gotcha.
So Grand Slam is gonna be the biggest we're gonna have, 100%.
Awesome, man. Anything else you really like about the AJP tour? I know we talked about our trip to Tokyo, which was awesome. You did the King of Mats, which was great. Did you fight the Grand Slam in Rio last year?
I did it. I fought Grand Slam when it was the brown belt.
Okay.
That was the Grand Slam in Rio. I fought Los Angeles 2 times.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, man, of the AJP tour. Like I think they just treat us pretty good, pretty well, and I appreciate the way that I could show appreciation to put my name there and fight on the tournament. So it's good. It's good to fight for.
You mentioned the World Pro a little bit earlier. We're trying to make it happen. There's a little bit of, it's a tough time. It's a tough year. We had to push it back from April. We pushed it back to, it was supposed to be November this month, but then there were some other, the problem is people coming in from other countries, they have to like quarantine for a certain amount of time. Yeah. So it's tough because if you have to quarantine for 14 days, how are you going to do that and then compete? You know, it's like, it's really hard, but they pushed it back again to the beginning of 2021. So we've got the Moscow Grand Slam coming up, the London Grand Slam, the World Pro, the Abu Dhabi Grand Slam. It's going to be, one after another. So hopefully things will be a little bit different because I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a new ranking system just for the Grand Slam events. Really? So if you, and it's not only by belt level, it's also by your weight class. Wow. So if you compete in all the Grand Slam events, which, you know, in 2018, you competed in a couple of them, right? It was the LA Grand Slam, the Tokyo. So if you compete in a few of them and you medal, you have a good shot. First place gets 10,000, second place in the weight class. So just 94 kilos. Yeah.
Like that.
It's awesome. It's another opportunity to win money. But again, it's tough. If you have the travel restrictions, it's tough. But, you know, they're doing what they can to make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully they're gonna open Europe. For Brazilians, Europe's still closed some places.
Yeah.
But hopefully they open for Russia before Grand Slam Russia. You know.
Yeah. I think all it would take is maybe two. If you medal in 2 Grand Slam events, you have a really good shot at first or second place. You know, and taking home some money. So. Gutenberg, I want to wrap it up. Last question. What advice, I think there was a lot of good advice in this episode. What advice would you give a young up-and-comer who is looking to reach the level that you've reached, you know, AJP Grand Slam champion, you know, and just someone who's reached the top of the sport? What would you tell those people?
Man, I always say, you know, the same thing, and this is very, very basic, but it is what it is, you know, like work hard, you know, like hard work, always pays off, you know, give some dedication, like put some dedication, like if you want something to really, you know, go for, make the sacrifice is essential, you know, and be humble. You know, that's important too. But it's basically like this. It's not secret. It's not a recipe. You know, it's just this simple things. If you follow through, you can make whatever you want. It's not even being an athlete only. You can follow this. You can do this in your job. You can do this, whatever situation you are that you're looking for a future, looking to get better. Follow this through. Is you're gonna be successful. You know, be faithful, have your faith like high, whatever. Now I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about faith. Have faith. Have like, you know, that desire in your heart.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. All this, man, it's pretty basic. But the hard work, first off, like always, you know, hard work, always.
That's it, man.
Work hard.
That's it. The keys to success, like you're saying, it doesn't matter if it's jiu-jitsu or your job or, you know, being a father or, you know, a husband or whatever. It's about hard work, man. Put in that work. That's it.
We started. So, bro, my pleasure to be here with you. Right? I love it. I love it to talk with you. We have been talking a long time.
It's been a while, man.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good today.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on the show, man. Hopefully I can get down to the Grand Slam and see you back on the mats in action. That would be
do it, man. Let's do some acai here.
Let's do it, man. I'll bring my bathing suit.
Yeah, cool. No, don't do that. We're doing shorts here, man. Come on.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Hey, sounds good. Thank you, brother.
Oops.